Hi, this is Christopher Clark, Town Administrator for the Town of Harwich. Today's topic that I'd like to cover is kind of a wrap-up of town meeting. First, I think it's interesting, at least from my perspective, that democracy is something that works when you run it as efficiently as you can and have a productive meeting as you can. And I thought that the May 2nd, 2016 annual town meeting accomplished those goals. This was my third town meeting with the town of Harwich, and my first year I kind of just observed. My second year we put in some refinements, and then this year we added to those refinements. So what do I mean by refinements? Something as simple as having the motions projected on the screen so people can see what is being voted on. Something that I brought with me from other towns. And then something as simple as just grouping articles. I find that when you take all the budget articles, for instance, and do those at the same time, community preservation articles, that the meeting has an opportunity to flow, where you're used to a topic, you know you're going to be covering budgets, you know you're going to be covering certain topics in a certain area. I think that those measures help to make town meeting flow a little easier. This year, we also introduced the concept of taking several different small items and incorporating them into one. And we did that primarily in the capital budget area. So several small articles that would normally be done individually were combined into a small capitals article. And then we also did do some facility maintenance articles. I think in total that was almost $600,000 worth of articles. So those were also grouped together. One of the things that we hope to accomplish is to have town meeting be informative for folks. I believe that these sessions that we have to give me an opportunity to talk about what's coming up on town meeting has hopefully been very informative, and that town meeting respects and appreciates the efforts to make sure that we publicize the information that's going to be presented. The other, I thought, nice accomplishment was that there were 65 articles in total on the annual town meeting and then 4 on the special. And in the first night, we understand that people are busy, they have busy lives, they do a lot of different things. We were able to get through 55 articles, so basically accomplished the vast majority of the town's business in one night. I believe we probably ended around 10:30ish, so it was a productive evening in terms of being able to be home afterwards. In terms of some of the highlights of the meeting, the main budget articles went through pretty quickly and pretty efficiently. I like to think that by having the Board of Selectmen in uniformity with the Finance Committee on many of these articles led to the successful town meeting. So I believe also that it's the coordination of the Selectmen working with the Finance Committee that led to that. I've already elaborated at other times different elements of the budget, so I wasn't necessarily going to go through other than to say that the budget now has been approved and will become operational and effective on July 1st of this coming year. In terms of articles that led to a secondary nature, we will, as now that town meeting is over, follow up on several of those articles. There are some articles that have elements to them, such as the charter changes, in which they'll have to be placed on the ballot for next year. So those will have to be ordered and structured to be able to accomplish that. We also have some questions that are before the electorate. So there were 2 articles in particular. The Saquatucket waterside redevelopment, actually doing the docks and structures to support the boats that we have in Saquatucket Harbor, was voted, I believe, almost unanimously at town meeting. There may have been 1 or 2 stray no's, but basically it was very, very well received, and the election will determine whether that funding goes forward. The second one is in regards to our highway program, maintaining our roads and streets in the community. On that had a contingent appropriation that was dependent upon a debt exclusion, which is on the ballot. That was for $700,000 to help to maintain the roads in the current state that they're in as people drive over it. And then one item that's on the ballot that was not part of town meeting is the informational question. That's a non-binding informational question in regards to the reuse of the middle school. I believe that the Board of Selectmen has had a tremendous interest in where would the community like to see the middle school go. So once the election results are known, we will be able to hopefully make a decision that will be something grounded in what the community believes makes some sense for the middle school. So those are a couple of items that are kind of part of the town meeting process, as well as obviously the election of the Board of Selectmen. There's 2 members that are up and 4 people running. So it's nice to see democracy at work in which we have competition for the seats on the board. So the election will determine the future for the Board of Selectmen for the next 3 years, as either 2 members return or a combination of new members and old members that are incumbents that are running will make their way back. In terms of other items of town meeting, the Community Preservation Act had community preservation articles. There were numerous articles in there. All those were voted favorably, so that element went very well. Also, the 2 items that did not receive consideration, I think they were the only 2. I may stand to be corrected, but on the 2 petition articles, there was an effort to amend the charter by creating a Charter Enforcement Commission. That was vigorously debated, and there was a lot of discussion. Unfortunately, that one, or fortunately, depending on which side you're on, was not voted favorably. And then that was, I think, the major controversial article of the first night of town meeting. There were a few that were IP'd or indefinitely postponed, which means that this town meeting was not needing to address them, and perhaps they would be brought up at a later town meeting. So with town meeting in the books, we will proceed to put into place the various 65 articles that were approved, and also the 4 special town meeting articles that were deliberated on. So we will move forward to implement those elements and begin the new fiscal year on July 1st. I wish to thank you for your time and attention for this town meeting wrap-up. And as we move forward, we will try to inform you of articles and items that hopefully have some interest. If you do have any topics that you would like to have specifically covered, I would encourage you to either email me directly, or you can email Caleb in the cable department. Christopher Clark, thank you for your time and attention.